Government is set to move the Supreme Court to seek permission for the use of green firecrackers during Diwali in the national capital. The Delhi government has promised to reduce pollution by rolling out an elaborate action plan. The government says while they are working on controlling air pollution, and you must pay attention to this part of their argument, it is also important to respect the sentiments of the people of Delhi who want to celebrate the festival of Diwali. Now, the Supreme Court has time and again reminded Delhi's authorities on the need to curb air pollution in the national capital, especially between the months of October and December, when pollution peaks in the national capital region. Over 2 lakh patients with acute respiratory illnesses were reported to emergency departments in the last 2 years, while green crackers may reduce the pollution levels by 30 to 40%. According to researchers, it does not eliminate pollution completely. So let's tell you why green crackers may not be the solution and why it may be a bad idea for the Delhi government to go ahead and even go to the Supreme Court with this request. Of course, it cuts pollution by 40% but does not eliminate pollution. It's just a 40% difference between the crackers that you burst and the green crackers that the Delhi government wants. Also, it does emit more dangerous ultra-fine particles, which will again lead to respiratory issues and cause more respiratory issues like asthma among patients. Just for a moment, think of those patients who are already suffering from asthma and how these ultrafine particles could make it worse for them. It also goes ahead and triggers eye, throat, irritations and allergies, and there are other reasons as well which lead to a lot of allergy in the area once you have any kind of these crackers that are burst. Of course, there are also toxic gases like nitrogen oxides and sound levels also being harmful, pollution impacting the lungs, the heart, and of course water and soil pollution as well. So while you have the Delhi government coming up with the request that they do, there are a lot of reasons why they should not be going to the Supreme Court with this request. Also, we have the Chief Minister's comment on this. Listen in.
दिल्ली की समस्या अपनी जगह है और उसके लिए काम करना एक समाधान है, परंतु दिल्ली के और देश के करोड़ों लोग जो धर्म प्रिय हैं, जिनके लिए दिवाली एक बहुत बड़ा त्यौहार है, भावनाओं से जुड़ा है, प्रभु राम की वापसी से जुड़ा है, ऐसे में मैं ये समझती हूँ कि उन्हें ये अनुमति मिलनी चाहिए, चाहे ग्रीन क्रैकर के रूप में मिले, ताकि वो अपने त्यौहार को अच्छे से मना सकें। और दिल्ली सरकार भी इसको लिखित रूप में माननीय कोर्ट के समक्ष अपनी इच्छा जाहिर करेगी कि सरकार अब पूरी तरीके से अपनी जिम्मेवारी पॉल्यूशन के प्रति रखती है और उसे निभाएगी भी।
I want to take you through Delhi's pollution report card as well at this point, just to remind the Delhi government how this could be a bad idea. Now, this is data that has been submitted by the central government in Parliament. During 2022 and 2024, there were 2 lakh patients who reported respiratory issues in Delhi and the larger national capital region. 30,000 plus hospitalizations within those 2 years as well have been reported as well. Now, in 2024, almost 70,000 emergency cases as well reported due to high levels of pollution, and almost 11,000 emergency hospitalizations last year itself. So these figures really tell you why this is a bad idea. 2023, almost 70,000 patients reported as well. These are respiratory illness crises and situations that patients have already been through. In 2022, again 67,054 patients were in those wards in hospitals, and these illnesses being reported from there. Ishika Verma now joins me live on this story. We believe we will go back to her in a moment from now, but the big question really here to the Delhi government is, what are they really thinking in terms of wanting these green crackers to be a part of Diwali celebrations? Of course, the sentiments are one thing, but the aftermath of those crackers being used in Delhi is another problem as well. You've had the Supreme Court come down heavily, repeatedly on the Delhi government, telling them that this is not the time for crackers crackers to be used. And Ishika now joining me live on that story. Ishika, we've heard from the top court of India over and over again about how it's not a good idea to have crackers, even if they're green crackers, being used during Diwali. But it's really strange that the Delhi government has come up with this kind of explanation or request going to the Supreme Court, saying faith is perhaps equally important as festivities, and also faith is as important as the health of people in this case. But therein itself, in that lies the irony.
Well, Vedika, as you rightly pointed out, now, in fact, the statement that has come from the Delhi government, in fact, Chief Minister herself has said that the Diwali festival is incomplete without the fireworks, and that is why the Delhi government will be, in fact, presenting its stand in the Supreme Court tomorrow that at least green crackers should be allowed in Delhi. Now, as you talked about the top court's, earlier observations also, well, we have recently seen that how the Supreme Court is also rethinking the blanket ban. Because, just recently, if we talk about, Supreme Court had allowed the manufacturing of the green crackers, but then again said the sale should not be in the NCR region. But apart from that, the top court has also taken cognizance of this fact that in the previous years, when there was a complete ban on the sale and the manufacture of the firecrackers, including the green firecrackers, then also there were violations which could not be controlled. Because remember, it was the former Aam Aadmi Party government that had included this in their winter action plan. So the enforcement was something which was always a big question when it comes to the NCR region. And the BJP, even then, at the time when they were in opposition, they had said that, if we talk about the pollution, it doesn't come in one day. So that is what they are following through, is what we are being told by the Delhi government sources, that at least the green crackers should be allowed. But as you rightly mentioned, the opposition now, the Aam Aadmi Party, is questioning over the pollution that will rise after that. Remains to be seen how this entire thing will be panning out, especially
for
tomorrow.
The same Delhi government to go ahead and issue notifications that schools will be closed for a number of days because the high level of pollution in the National Capital Region. But it's all good to go to the Supreme Court with this request. Again, an irony of sorts. Thank you for joining us live there. Breaking news.